Breaking news, Roger Stone's trial. I mentioned this in the first hour, by the way, but I see lots of other people are jumping on it now. Roger Stone's trial has revealed a new impeachable offense and federal felony committed by Donald Trump, perjury, for lying under oath during the Mueller investigation about his access to Kremlin cutout / hostile non-state intelligence service WikiLeaks. Bottom line, Donald Trump, knew what was coming out of WikiLeaks. He testified before a grand jury, before Mueller's grand jury, in writing, that he didn't know. And according to Rick Gates, who was there when Trump learned this from Roger Stone, Trump was lying through his teeth. Another impeachable offense. I realize you're shocked, right? Donald Trump has committed another impeachment. Really? Oh, man. Paul in Woodinville, Washington. Hey, Paul, what's on your mind today?
Well, let's go on to talking about conservatism and fear.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say conservative, not you, but I have to check and see, okay, what is meant by this term?
Right.
Is this classical conservatism? So I'm going to define that as divine right monarchy. You are the king by the right of God, or is it conservatism somewhere on the continuum of classical liberalism? I mean, there are conservatives within liberalism. So I have to say, well, which are we talking about? And I started to think, well, when you talk about fear, in terms of a king, well, the people mostly supported the king. When there was a king, most people supported the king because you damn well better, because you can be you would be fearful of some other warlord coming and killing you and your family and taking your land.
Right.
So it seems to me that and I've heard this even with Trump supporters. A woman, I think, was from Michigan. I think Saginaw, Michigan, said, I thought I'd hear myself say this, but I never thought I'd want a dictator, but yeah, Donald Trump would be okay. Mm. So what they want is a protectorate.
Right. They want a strong daddy to take care of them.
Right.
Yeah.
They want a protectorate and to quell the things that are fearful to them. Whereas you see that, and then the question of what's big government is, well, you could say that both liberalism and conservatism has big government. It's just that who has a hand in it. And what conservatives do not like is the fact that the people, because ultimately that's what liberalism is self-government. Right. And conservatives don't like the fact that the people themselves have a hand in their governance and what will become. So in terms of policy, they want the king to make all the policy. And what they're hoping is if the king is of their ilk, and that's pretty much what it was in the day of kings, is they will protect you from people that don't look like you, don't eat the same kind of food as you do, and don't have the same language dialect that you do. And that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, he's coming across exactly like a would-be king.
Yeah, but and what's fascinating about it is these studies that were done by this John Barr guy, or Barge. What he was actually looking at was the way that he was measuring how people's perspectives or positions on the conservative to liberal spectrum changed was actual policy stuff. Do you support expanding Social Security? Do you support everybody having access to low cost or free health care? Do you support everybody having access to pre-K education, to college, debt-free college, stuff like that? I mean, they were just using parts of the ongoing debate, the dialogue about what direction our country should be going, and seeing shifts in those things based on whether people felt afraid or not.
Right, and you can see it, and what I was talking about is that goes down to who has a hand in government.
Right.
So what they really want is, and this is what they keep pushing, is they want a single person, a monarch, to have more a hand of government than anybody else. And that way, that one person will make the decisions that they trust to be the ones that are protecting them. And it's really funny is that we talk about their fear from what? And they have to have guns, and they're locking the doors of their churches, and yet who are they afraid of? I mean, they can't be afraid of some gun-grabbing liberal who doesn't want a gun. Right. So they're afraid of themselves. they're afraid of the people that are just like them.
Yes. They have that nameless, unreasoning, paralyzing fear that FDR talked about in 1933.